let's jump right in. The first thing you must stop saying is that you are not smart enough to speak English. I have taught thousands upon thousands of English learners around the world how to speak English with confidence, but I have heard so many English learners say this, and maybe you said it before as well, or maybe you've thought it to yourself. I'm just not smart enough, Tiffani. It's so hard. English is so difficult. I just can't speak it like a native. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. Let me tell you something. Right now, you're watching this lesson and I'm speaking English, but your mother tongue is not English. Maybe it's Swahili, maybe it's Japanese, maybe it's Korean, maybe it's Portuguese or Spanish. Your language is not my language, but you're still able to understand what I'm saying. That is proof that you, my friend, are smart enough. But you must believe that fact. You're smart enough. You can do it. Stop saying that you're not smart enough to speak English. Again, if your goal is to speak English fluently, you must stop saying this right now. The second thing you must stop saying is that you don't know enough vocabulary. I have literally spoken to students that were beginners, that were intermediate, and that were advanced. And they all said the same thing. Tiff, I don't know enough vocabulary. Stop saying this. You see, in reality, you find yourself using the same vocabulary words over and over again. That's true. That's a fact. But it's not that you don't know enough vocabulary words. Instead, it's that you haven't put into practice the vocabulary words that you have learned. You get comfortable with a certain set, even though in your brain there are tons and tons of English vocabulary words that you've learned from me or other English teachers, or even learned by listening to different podcasts or watching different movies or drama programs. You've learned them, but you haven't had the opportunity to use them yet. So stop saying that you don't know enough vocabulary. Change that. And start putting into practice the vocabulary that is in your brain. Trust me, when you change the words you say, you'll change the outcome. You will start speaking English fluently. Stop saying you don't know enough vocabulary and start using the vocabulary you do know. Put it into practice immediately. Again, I want you to speak English fluently, and it's possible. You have to stop saying certain things. Again, stop saying that you don't know enough vocabulary. The third thing that you must stop saying is that your pronunciation is bad. I hear this all the time. Tiff, my pronunciation is bad, but I'm able to understand you. As your English teacher, I know what you're saying. When I speak to my students, again, students that are in my program, I'll tell you about it later if you'd like to join our family. But students in my program, I can understand them. And they've literally asked me, Tiff, how are you able to understand us? And I said, listen, in America, there are so many different cultures. We have Chinese Americans. We have African Americans. We have Japanese Americans. We have West Indians that are American but came from different West Indies islands, right? So we have many different accents in America. So stop saying that your pronunciation is bad, because what happens is when you continue to say to yourself, my pronunciation is bad, my pronunciation is bad, when you go to speak English, when you're speaking with another native English speaker, you'll get nervous. In your brain, you'll hear that voice. You know your pronunciation is bad. You know they're not going to be able to understand you. You know ... And that takes away your confidence. Stop saying that your pronunciation is bad. If there's something you'd like to work on, just change what you're saying. For example, instead of saying, my pronunciation is bad, say, hey, I'd like to work on my pronunciation of the F sound. That right there literally will affect your ability to speak English fluently. Instead of saying, I'm horrible, my pronunciation is horrible, now you're saying, hey, There are some things I really want to work on. I'd like to improve my pronunciation when I say the F, the F sound, or when I pronounce TH. I'd like to do that better. Makes sense, right? Change the words you say to yourself. Listen, speaking English confidently, speaking English fluently. It's all about speaking English confidently. Your confidence is so important. So stop saying that your pronunciation is bad. The fourth thing I need you right now to stop saying is that English is too hard. Listen, I have students from all around the world in my program. And these students are not only improving their English, they are enjoying the process. I've had students tell me, Tiff, oh my goodness, like English is not that hard. English is not an easy language to learn, but you can study following a certain system or method that makes the process enjoyable. So stop telling yourself English is too hard. Because the moment you say to yourself English is too hard, your brain says, okay, I'm not going to make any effort to help you conquer this language. I'm not going to help you actually achieve your goal because you said it's too hard. Stop saying English is too hard. Instead, figure out what you can do to enjoy the process. Follow a plan. Follow a teacher. Again, I'd love for you to be my student in my program, following us with my family. But if not, it's okay. But you need to simply find something that makes English enjoyable. Stop saying that English is too hard. It's not too hard. You just need to follow the right plan. The fifth thing I need you to stop saying is that you don't have enough time. I have many people say, Tiff, I don't have enough time to study English. I want to speak English fluently. I want to speak English like a native English speaker, but I don't have the time. Stop saying that. Stop saying you don't have enough time. And let me explain why. We make time for the things that are important to us. If you're married, you make time for your spouse. If you work, you make sure you're at work. You get to work on time and you work the full day, right? We make time for the things that are important to us. So stop saying you don't have enough time. Instead, realize English hasn't become important enough to you to make time for it. I know you want to speak English fluently. So stop saying you don't have enough time and find the time. Even if it's 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes can make a difference. Even if it's 10 minutes a day, find the time, but English has to be important enough to you. What's your goal? Why do you want to speak English fluently? I have a student named Fred, and he joined me for one of the workshop classes I taught a few weeks ago. And Fred started learning English because he wanted to get international clients. That was his why. That was the reason, right? So because of that, English became important. And Fred made time. Now Fred speaks like a native English speaker. He has international clients. He's making more money. His business is thriving. Why? Because instead of saying that he didn't have enough time, he made time because English became important. So figure out for yourself, why do you want to speak English fluently? Why is it important to you? And then you will find the time. Stop saying you don't have enough time. The sixth thing I need you to stop saying is that you can't speak English because you don't live in America. It's not true. It's not true. I had a student when I was in South Korea. His English was so good. I pulled him to the side and I said, where did you study? What college did you attend in America? How long did you live in America? Remember, I'm an English teacher. At that time, I had already taught thousands upon thousands of Korean students. But I pulled him to the side and I said, where did you study? He said, teacher, I've never been to America. I've never been to Europe. I've never been to an English-speaking country. I've only been in Korea and I've studied English here. He sounded like me. So stop saying you can't speak English because you don't live in America. He was the first individual I met that had actually done it. But then I started to see more students before I developed my program. Fred, I told you about him a few moments ago. Fred speaks English like a native. Other learners, they asked me, Tiff, is he a native English speaker? No, but he sounds like me now. Why? Because he found the time, as we learned in the last thing you should stop saying. He found the time, and it is possible. You can speak English like a native. You can speak English even if you never get the opportunity to go to another country, but you must believe this and stop saying you can't speak English because you don't live in America. The seventh thing that I need you to stop saying is that your English is not good. Stop starting conversations. Hey, I'm sorry, my English is not good. Don't say that. Stop saying it completely. Because what happens when you say, sorry, my English is not good, you hinder yourself from speaking with confidence. You're telling yourself you're bad, you're not good. And then you're telling the person listening to you, hey, don't pay attention to what I'm saying because it's not going to be good. And that person immediately kind of shuts off one side of their brain. Their English is not good, so they're going to make mistakes. Instead, just start speaking. Don't say my English is not good. Don't say it anymore. Just start speaking. Why am I telling you these things? Why am I encouraging you to stop saying these 7 things? Because my goal is to help you speak English with confidence. But in order to speak English with confidence, you have to remember, it's not just about learning words, learning expressions. No, you literally have to change the way you think. Encourage yourself. Believe in yourself. Know that you can do it. Let's jump right in. The very first thing you must stop saying is, sorry, my pronunciation is not good. Sorry, my pronunciation is not good. Listen to me. You have to stop saying this right now. I've had thousands upon thousands of students that have said this to me. At the very first meeting, the very first class I had with each student, they would say, hi teacher, sorry, my pronunciation is not good. This affects you. This actually tells your brain that you will never improve your pronunciation. Instead of saying, sorry, my pronunciation is not good, from today, I want you to start saying this. I really like the American accent. One day, I will also sound like an American. You caught it, right? It's a totally different feeling. Again, the first one that you're saying right now, sorry, my pronunciation is not good. It shows that you're a little bit insecure about your English, right? You don't feel confident. But the moment instead of saying this, you start saying, you know what? I really like the American accent, and one day I will also sound like an American. You literally are telling your brain, hey, we have a goal and we are going to achieve the goal. You're also telling the person listening to you, wow, you really like the American accent. You sound good right now, but I like that you have a goal to get better. The person listening to you will, instead of being understanding of your quote unquote weakness, they will be impressed with your desire to achieve this goal. So instead of saying, sorry, my pronunciation is not good, from today, starting now, I want you to say, I really like the American accent. One day I will also sound like an American. Feels good, doesn't it? All right, the second thing I want you to stop saying right now is, I'm sorry, my English is not good. I'm so sorry, my English is just not good. Listen, I know you've said it at least once and you're probably shaking your head right now, right? I want you to stop saying this right now. Don't say this anymore. Instead of saying, sorry, my English is not good, I want you to say this. I love speaking English. It's my second language. It's my third language. It's my fourth, my fifth, my sixth language. Instead of saying my English is not good, I want you to focus on the fact that you are so intelligent. Your brain is so amazing that you are able to learn another language. Think about that. Think about how awesome that is. You are learning an entirely different language. So stop saying, I'm sorry, my English is not good. And instead say, I love speaking English. It's my second, third, fourth, fifth language. Once again, two things will happen. The person listening to you, instead of pitying you, okay, your English isn't good, they will instead be extremely impressed. Wow, it's your second language, your third language, your fourth language? The second thing that will happen is your brain will again feel like, hey, we have a goal that we are in the process of achieving. Your brain will realize, hey, we should be confident in the fact that we are learning another language. So again, instead of saying, I'm sorry, my English is not good, starting right now, I want you to say, I love speaking English. It's my, insert the number, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth language. You got it? I know. Listen, I'm feeling good already for you. This lesson is to help you to be more confident in your ability to speak English. Here's the third thing, though, I need you to stop saying. English is too hard. I just can't do it. English is it's too hard. I'm not smart enough. It's too hard. I need you to stop saying that English is too hard. When you say that English is too hard, you're telling yourself that you cannot achieve your goal. So instead of saying English is too hard, this is what I want you to start saying. I love learning new things in English. I'm going to say that again. I love learning new things in English. You see, when you say English is too hard, it's when you're in the situation where you're learning so many things and you're having a hard time remembering them. Or you learn 10 things and then you realize there are 10 more things to learn and you feel overwhelmed. In that moment, I need you not to get discouraged. Instead of saying, English is just too hard, I want you to say this instead. I love learning new things in English. Be optimistic, and then your brain will expand. Okay, it's not too hard. Yes, we have a challenge, but we love learning new things. Change your perspective, change your mindset, and your English will improve every single day. So again, say, I love learning new things in English. Starting now, starting from today. You got it? All right. Now, the very next thing I need you to stop saying, number 4, I will never speak English like a native. I want you, yes, you, I'm speaking to you. Hey, I need you to stop saying this right now. Stop saying, I will never speak English like a native. And I'm going to tell you a story before I give you what I'd like you to say instead of this. I have tons of students, and I'm just going to pick out one student. When I first met this student, and I've talked about him before, Fred, I'm talking about you. When Fred first came to study with me, Fred, he's an amazing guy. And his first interaction with me, I could tell he was very nice, but I could also tell he was very shy. He did make mistakes. He didn't feel as confident in his English speaking skills. Fast forward. I told Fred, Fred, you can do it. You can achieve your English goals. You can speak English like a native. Just keep studying with me. You can do it. Fast forward, I kid you not. Fred right now can speak English like a native. Not only is he confident in his English skills, he does work with international companies, only speaking in English. He runs an English podcast. It's called Silvacast, right, Fred? You guys can find it on YouTube, Silvacast. Fred is doing all of this, and he's never ever been to America. He's never traveled to an American country, a country that speaks English as their native language. Fred now sounds like a native English speaker. So never think that it's impossible. Again, stop saying, I will never speak English like a native. Instead, I want you to say this. My goal is to speak English like a native. Once again, my goal is to speak English like a native. I believe you can do it, and I love watching my students achieve this goal. Now, if you want to study with me, the link is in the description. Go to www.speakenglishLikeAnative.com. Very simple, right? But I want you to remember you can speak English like a native. So instead of saying, I will never, I want you to say, my goal is to speak English like a native. Give your brain this desire to speak English like a native. Your brain will work overtime to help you achieve the goal. You got it, right? Now, here's the next thing I need you to stop saying right now. Native English speakers speak too fast. Native English speakers speak too fast. Now, I'm chuckling because I get this message all the time from students. Tiff, I can understand you, but when I watch a movie or when I watch another YouTube video, I don't know what they're saying. How come I can understand you? Now, here's the thing. I'm your English teacher, right? So when I'm speaking to you right now during this lesson, I am speaking clearly. But at the end of every lesson, don't worry, it's coming, I give you a story time. Hey. And when I tell you a story, I speak at a normal pace, purposely. I speak fast. I speak at my normal pace. I use the words I would normally use with my friends, but yet you're still able to understand me. So many of you say, Tiff, my favorite part of your lesson, honestly, is the story time. But I speak fast during story time. How are you able to understand me? Because you've gotten used to me. Because you've allowed your brain to open up and say, hey, we're going to understand whatever Tiffani is saying. So you have to change what you're saying. So instead of saying native speakers, native English speakers speak too fast, I want you to say this. I would love to mimic the pace and cadence of native English speakers' speech. Man, I love the way native English speakers speak. One day I'm going to do the same. I want to mimic them. I want to copy them. I want to sound like them one day. So instead of it being a complaint, oh man, native English speakers speak too fast, now it becomes a goal to be achieved. Listen, I would love to mimic the pace and cadence of native English speakers' speech. You see what's happening, right? You're changing the way you're thinking. Instead of focusing on things you can't do, focusing on the negatives, now you're switching to be more optimistic, focusing on your goals. This will help you achieve each and every one of your English goals. Now, here's the next thing I need you to stop saying today. I can understand you, but I can't speak English well. I can understand you, but I can't speak English well. I'm pausing because I can't even count the number of times I have received this exact message from students. Tiffani, here's the deal. I can understand you, but I can't speak English well. My friend, I want you to stop saying this right now. Right now. Instead of saying this is what I want you to say. Woo! I love how clearly you speak. One day I will speak as clearly as you. You see the difference, right? Man, I love how clearly you speak. I can understand everything you say. Then instead of focusing on, but I can't do it, you say, hey, one day I will speak just like you. Again, you're giving yourself the opportunity to work towards a goal. Don't focus on your current quote unquote weakness. Focus on your future goal and working towards it. So again, instead of saying, hey, I can understand you, but I can't speak English well, I want you, starting right now, starting today, I want you to say, I love how clearly you speak. You know, one day, I will speak as clearly as you. Listen, my friend, when you change the words that you say, your life will change as well. So, the last thing I want you to know, the last thing I want you to stop saying is, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. Now, this happens all the time. Again, literally, I've taught English for years, over a decade. And I've had students, I'll ask them a question. Hey, can you tell me about your day? And they'll start, yes, I went to work and then I had lunch with my friends. I say, okay, anything else? I don't have anything else to say. I don't know what else to say. And they just stop. What's happening is your brain is having a hard time organizing your thoughts in English, right? But instead of saying, I don't know what else to say, I don't know what to say, I want you to say this. Let me think about that for a moment. Totally different, right? Instead of saying, I don't know what to say, because the moment you say, I don't know, your brain says, okay, let me shut off. Okay, we don't have to work anymore. You don't need our help anymore. The brain shuts off. But when you say, instead of, I don't know what else to say, when you say, let me think about that for a moment, all of a sudden your brain goes into overdrive. Okay, they want to know more about what you said. Okay, well, tell them about your friend. Well, my friend, I've known her since elementary school. We're really close. All of a sudden, more information will come to your mind. So again, instead of saying, I don't know what else to say, I want you, starting today, starting now, I want you to say, let me think about that for a moment. And I want you to realize this. Native English speakers do the exact same thing. Right now, I'm teaching you something, right? I'm giving you some information about English and helping you improve your English by changing your mindset. But let me think for a moment. I just paused, but you were okay. Why? Because you were waiting for my answer. You were waiting for my next thought. It's totally okay to say, let me think for a moment. As you're thinking, the person will wait. This is what I want you to remember. Let's jump right in. Number 1. The very first thing you must stop saying is, it's too difficult. This is something that I have heard from thousands upon thousands of English learners around the world. And I'm sure that you've probably said it at least one time or another. It's too difficult. I don't know really how to speak English. English is just too hard. My friend, I need you to stop saying this now. Instead of saying it's too difficult, when you're learning a new word, a new expression, or even a grammar rule, instead of saying it's too difficult, I want you to say this. I need more time to understand this. I'm going to say that one more time. I need more time to understand this. You see, when you change the words that you say, you also change the way you think. When you say it's too difficult, you're literally telling your brain, stop, don't work, this isn't possible. But when instead of saying it's too difficult, you start saying, hey, I just need some more time to understand this, your brain says, okay, we are smart enough. We are intelligent enough. We just need a little bit more time. This is the truth. My friend, you are smart enough to do anything. And your goal is to speak English fluently. So don't say it's too difficult. Instead, say, you know what? I just need a little bit more time to understand this. Start saying this today. Never say again, it's too difficult. Just say, I need a little bit more time to understand this. You with me? All right, now I love it. Here we go. The second thing I need you to stop saying is this. I can't speak fluently. I can't speak English fluently. Stop saying that. Remember, I am your English teacher. I'm a native English speaker. I'm an American, and I believe that you, yes, I'm talking to you, the one looking at me right now. I believe that you can speak fluently, but you must believe that as well. From now on, never say, I can't speak fluently. Instead, this is what I want you to say, my friend. I want you to say this. I'm working on improving my fluency. Oh, you see the change, right? One is, I'll never do it. I can't do it. It's impossible. While the other phrase, I'm working on improving my fluency, is, hey, I'm in the process. Right now, I'm working towards my goal. That is impressive. When a native English speaker sees you, has a conversation with you, and maybe you make mistakes or you struggle a bit, but your response, instead of saying, I can't speak fluently, if you say, I'm working on improving my fluency, I guarantee the native English speaker is going to be impressed. They're going to see that, wow, you are a diligent person. You recognize that you have a goal and you're daily working towards it, and you're not allowing your mistakes, your challenges, your struggles to hold you back or discourage you. When you say this, I'm working on improving my fluency, you'll encourage yourself and you'll also inspire other people. Listen, the words you use affect you. I believe in you. I need you to believe in yourself. So starting today, I want you to never say, I can't speak fluently. I want you to now say, I'm working on improving my fluency. Feels good, doesn't it? I love it. Now, before we move on to number 3, I want to remind you, after each lesson, I want you to go to my app, English with Tiffani. You can download it right now. After each lesson, I have practice lessons for you to go over that connect directly to the lesson you are following along with today. The link is right in the description. But remember, as you're learning English, it's important to practice what you learn. And for today's lesson, you'll get some quizzes to see if you remember what to say. So don't forget to download my app, English with Tiffani. You can download it for free. The link is right in the description. And each week, you'll be able to practice what I am teaching you. Sounds good, doesn't it? All right, now let's move on to number 3. Number 3, I need you to stop saying, I'll never sound like a native speaker. Whoa! Stop saying this. Again, I'll never sound like a native speaker. I don't want you to ever say that again. Instead of saying this, I want you to say, embracing your own unique accent and focusing on effective communication rather than perfection. I'm going to give you a few things that I want you to say. Instead of, I'll never sound like a native speaker, I want you to say, I'm working on my accent. Or, I'm working on sounding like a native English speaker. Or, I'm working on my communication skills. There are so many other things that you can say instead of, I'll never sound like a native speaker. I want you to remember this. For this one, it's not just one specific statement that I want you to say. I really want you to change your mindset. Listen closely. I want you to embrace your own unique accent. Let's pause really quickly. Many times, English learners, and maybe even you, don't realize that in America, Americans, in America, you will hear many different accents. I have friends from all over America. Some live in California, some live in Louisiana, some live in Alabama, some live in New York, and we all have a unique sound. But we're all American. Those that live in Texas, they have kind of a Texas drawl. We say drawl in English, right? Those that live in upstate New York, they sound like a New Yorker. There's a certain accent depending on where you live in America. Why is this important for you to understand? You see, the very fact that Americans, we have accents, should encourage you to embrace your own accent. Yes, there's always things you can do. There are always things you can do to improve, but I don't want you to say, I'll never sound like a native speaker, because we have all different accents. The next part of this, focus on effective communication rather than perfection. Many times, English learners only focus on their sound. But what truly leads to fluency is being able to organize your thoughts and effectively communicate your ideas and your opinions. Don't forget to organize your thoughts. Don't forget to properly convey your message. Your accent will improve. Don't be discouraged. So again, instead of saying, I'll never sound like a native speaker, I want you to embrace your unique accent, and I also want you to focus on effective communication. Some students that are in my academy, again, if you'd like to join our family, the link is in the description. You can go to speakenglishLikeAnative.com. Again, speakenglishLikeAnative.com if you want to join our family, but the link is also in the description. I have many students from countries all around the world. And when they understood the importance of effective communication and not being discouraged about their accent, their English took off. They're able to effectively express themselves, and they sound like a native speaker. You can do it too. So again, stop saying, I'll never sound like a native speaker. Number 4, the thing I want you to stop saying, I'll never understand native speakers. I just can't understand native speakers. They speak too fast, or their accent is too hard to understand. I don't know the words they're using, the expressions. Stop saying you'll never understand native speakers. I want to give you a hint why you need to stop saying this. I am a native speaker. Do you understand me? Now, you probably said, well, Tiffani, you're our teacher. Of course we understand. No, I need you to remember that I am a native speaker. And the very fact that you, my friend, are able to understand me proves that you are smart enough to understand other native speakers. Stop saying you can't understand native speakers. This is what I want you to start doing. I want you instead to remember that with practice and exposure, your understanding will improve over time. With practice and exposure. Think about it. The reason you can understand me so much is because you've probably been watching me for a long time. You're used to my cadence. You're used to my pronunciation. You're used to my expressions. And even if you're here for the first time, you're comfortable. And when you're in a comfortable environment, your brain relaxes. You don't experience any stress, and you're actually able to understand more when you are relaxed. So even if this is your first time seeing me, hello, by the way, you're able to understand me because hopefully my smile, my personality is making you comfortable and making you think, I can do anything. That helps you understand me more. So instead of saying, I'll never understand native speakers, first remember that you can understand me, a native speaker. Then practice, and also remembering that exposure will help your understanding improve over time. Trust me, I've seen it happen multiple times with students in my academy. A student in my family told me, Tiff, I listened to one of your conversations with your friends, one of my friends that's just a regular American, not an English teacher. So we were having a conversation and speaking very quickly. And she said, when I first saw the conversation, Tiff, it was a video. She said, I understood you, but I couldn't understand your friend. But I remember what you said, Tiff. Practice, Keep trying. She said, Tiff, by the third time I listened to the conversation, I understood everything. She only watched the conversation. She only listened to the conversation 3 times. All of a sudden, her ears opened up and she was able to understand my friend. This is why I say you need to stop saying, I'll never understand native speakers. My friend, nothing is impossible. You can and will do it. So stop saying, I'll never understand native speakers. Next, I need you to stop saying, I'll never be able to write well. I've tried, but my writing skills aren't that good in English. I'll never be able to write well. Stop saying you'll never be able to write well. Instead, I want you to do this. I want you. Yes, you. I need you to believe in your ability to improve your writing skills through practice and feedback. Anything is possible. Maybe right now your writing skills in English are not where you'd like them to be. But instead of being discouraged, remember, hey, all I have to do is keep practicing, keep getting feedback. Maybe you have a tutor, right? Getting feedback from others and then trying again and then writing again. Now, at the end of the lesson today, don't go anywhere because we have story time. Hey, and I'm going to tell you about my English teacher, my favorite teacher from high school, and how she helped me, your English teacher, improve my writing skills. And it was not easy. It was challenging. I'll tell you more about that at the end, so don't go anywhere. But I need you to stop saying, I'll never be able to write well. Instead, I need you to believe in yourself. Believe in your ability and practice, and remember to accept feedback and keep going. You can do it. Number 6, I really need you to stop saying, I don't have a good memory for vocabulary. I just can't remember. I don't have a good memory for vocabulary. Stop saying this. I have students again in our family and in the academy, Speak English with Tiffani Academy. Some of them are in their 60s, some in their 70s. And when they first joined, they said, Tiff, I'm a little old, Tiff, and I don't think I'll be able to learn English, but I'm just going to try. And I tell them, whenever I meet someone that's older, right? And when I spoke with these students, I said, listen, you're never too old to learn anything. Stop saying that. Stop saying, my memory's not that good. I'm not really going to be able to remember the words. Listen, here's the truth. Years ago, when I was first studying Korean, I was 27 years old when I started. And the classes that I was taking, they included students that were 19 and below. I was the older sister in every class, right? And they were picking up stuff like this. Why? They were teenagers, they were young, and their brains were grasping things faster than my brain was. And I'm not gonna lie, it was challenging. I had to study twice as hard as they did, but I kept going. So I'm not saying that it's not going to be challenging. What I am saying is that it is possible. So stop saying, I don't have a good memory for vocabulary. You just need to learn a better method for learning vocabulary. You might have to take it slow, but it is possible. If you want to study with me, I have a daily English vocabulary newsletter. Every day, I send out an email with a brand new word, describing it, giving you example sentences. If you'd like it, you can join us. The link is right in the description, dailyenglishvocabulary.com. But again, it's not impossible. You can do it. So I want you, instead of saying this, to start using, to look for various techniques for learning vocabulary, like repetition, mnemonics, and context to enhance your vocabulary retention. Now you might ask yourself, you might be asking right now, how are different techniques going to really help my memory? Here's the interesting thing about the human brain. Each person is unique. Each person is different. We all learn in different ways. You might be someone that needs to learn by having practical application immediately. You might be someone that needs to write down what you're learning, right? You have to figure out what your learning style is. So again, instead of saying, I don't have a good memory for vocabulary, find various techniques that will help you remember the vocabulary words. There's no problem with your brain. There's no problem with your memory. You just need to find the right technique and everything will flow. So again, stop saying, I don't have a good memory for vocabulary. Number 7, I need you to stop saying, I'll never overcome my accent. My accent's just not going anywhere. I'll never overcome my accent. Depending on where you live, depending on your mother tongue, your mother language, you might have what we say is a thicker accent than someone else. Your accent may be a little more challenging to work through in order to sound like a native speaker, but I need you to stop saying, I'll never overcome my accent. Remember, earlier I said, even Americans have accents, depending on where we live. You don't have to stress about your accent. So instead, I want you to remember that while your accent may persist, you might still sound like someone from the Philippines, someone from India, someone from Ghana, someone from any country you can think of or your country right now. Even if your accent persists, it's important for you to focus on clear pronunciation and effective communication rather than eliminating your accent entirely. Let me break this down. I have friends that live in England. I am an American. We can pronounce a word properly, but our accents are different. Listen closely. We can pronounce the same word properly, American style, British style, but our accents are different. So that's what I need you to understand. Focus on pronouncing the word clearly, making sure that the person listening to you can actually understand what you're saying. Your accent might still be there. That's okay. But can you pronounce the word in a clear way? Focus on the pronunciation and don't stress about your accent as much. I hope this is encouraging you because I hear this so many times from different English learners, stressed about their accent. But after a while, after they've been studying with me for a while and I help them realize, listen, stop worrying about your accent. I can understand you. Worry about effective communication. Worry about saying the word clearly and keep it moving. We have a slang term, keep it rocking. It means keep going forward. Keep it rocking. All right. So again, stop saying I'll never overcome my accent. Next, I want you to stop saying I can't understand movies or TV shows in English. I don't know what they're saying. I don't understand. Stop saying this. Instead, I want you to do something. I want you to start with subtitles, English subtitles. If you've watched a movie or a TV show and you're like, I have no idea what they're saying, stop. Rewind, turn on the English subtitles, and gradually reduce the reliance you have on them as your listening skills develop. The first time you watch the movie, the first time you watch the TV show, you might be reading the entire time, English subtitles. But when you watch the same show or the same movie again, you might only read 80% of the subtitles. The third time, you might only read 50% of the subtitles. Why? Because your listening skills will naturally improve. The more you listen to a certain person, the more you watch a certain show, the more used to the sound of that individual's voice, the sound of the characters' voices, your ears will get used to their pronunciation, and you'll start to understand what they're saying more. So again, instead of saying I can't understand movies or TV shows in English, I want you to start with English subtitles and gradually stop relying on them as much. Makes sense, right? Excellent. All right, here we go. Number 9. I want you to stop saying, I can't improve my listening skills. I just told you when we looked at number 8 that there's a way you can improve your listening skills. I need you to stop saying, though, I can't improve my listening skills. You see what's happening, right? There's this common theme, this common thread that we are seeing as I go throughout this lesson. Stop saying I can't. Stop thinking something is impossible. Stop feeling discouraged. English fluency is really dependent on your mindset. You have to change your mindset. Stop saying, I can't improve my listening skills. Instead, practice active listening. Engage in conversations. And use online resources designed for listening comprehension. I'm trying to give you other things to do, other things to focus on that will help you stop saying I can't. There are many different listening tools online. But one thing I want you to remember is that active listening, as someone is speaking, trying to process what they're saying, and maybe even after the conversation, try to summarize in your mind, hey, what did they say to me? You're actively listening. And also when you engage in conversations, it forces your brain to not only formulate ideas so that you can speak, but it also forces your brain to process information as you listen. Practice does make perfect. So stop saying, I can't improve my listening skills, and instead start practicing and realize that you can. Number 10, the thing I want you to stop saying. I can't learn English because of my age. I'm 65, I'm 75, I'm 80, I'm just too old. No, you're not. You're not. I don't care if you're 85. You're never too old to learn something new. I've had students literally from 4 years old all the way up to about 85. When I was in Korea, I had them in person. Now I have you all online. I'm your online English teacher. And I realized that nothing is impossible. I believed in each and every one of my students, no matter how old they were. The key, though, is for you to believe that you can do it. It's not impossible. So stop saying I can't learn English because of my age. Instead, I want you to remember that age is not a barrier to learning a new language. Age does not determine information that's able to go into your brain. It might not go in as fast as a younger person, but you're still able to learn something. It may require different strategies, but progress is possible. You are never too old to learn anything. So I need you, my friend, if this applies to you, I need you starting today to stop saying, I can't learn English because of my age. Don't say that again, because it's wrong. The truth is, you can learn anything. Just trust the process. It might be a little slower, but trust the process. Next, I need you to stop saying this. I'll never be able to think in English. Tiffani, I just can't do it. I can't think in English. Every time I go to speak English, I'm automatically thinking in my own language. I'll never be able to think in English. Stop saying this, because it's not true. You just need to learn the techniques to help you think in English. Remember, when you say, I'll never, I can't do it, you're telling your brain to stop working. Like, oh, okay, you don't need my energy. You don't need me to work hard. Yes, you do. Stop saying I can't. Instead, I want you to remember something. Remember that with consistent practice and immersion, you can develop the ability to think in English. With consistent practice and immersion. You might be saying, Tiff, immersion, how can I immerse myself? Well, right now you're watching a video, right? In English, about English. This entire time right now, I'm not speaking in your language, right? I'm speaking in English. You're immersing yourself at this moment in English. Do it even more. Watch English television programs. Watch English movies. Immerse yourself. And the more you put in, the more tools you'll have as you think in English. For example, in Korean, water is 물, right? So before I went to Korea, whenever I saw a cup of water, I thought water. But as I immersed myself in conversations and my friends would say 물, or I'd go somewhere and I'd see someone in the store and they'd say 물. All of a sudden in my brain, not just the word water was there, but 물 was there. So now I was starting to think in Korean. You can do the same thing, but you must give your brain more opportunities to put English inside. And then when you try to think, you'll have what you need. Makes sense, right? So again, stop saying I'll never be able to think in English. The next thing I need you to stop saying, I'll never be able to understand fast speech. Americans speak too fast. I just can't understand when they're speaking. I just can't get it. I don't know what they're saying. I don't understand. Did you just understand me? Because I purposely gradually increased my speed as I was speaking, just to prove a point. When I speak slowly, you understand me with no problem. I get hundreds of messages each week under the YouTube video lessons. Tiffani, I understand you and not anyone else. So I purposely increased my speed just now, but you understood me, right? So it's not impossible for you to understand fast speech. It goes back to what I said earlier. You're comfortable with me. Hopefully I make you feel happy. I make you feel relaxed. And when you are relaxed, your brain is able to process more information. There's no stress. You're relaxed. You're taking it all in. So even if I started speaking very quickly, you'd be able to understand everything that I was saying. Why? Because you're relaxed. You might have pulled in a little bit like, whoa, Tiffani's speaking faster. But your brain had this feeling, oh, we can do this. We like Tiffani. I like you too. We can understand what she's saying. So let's work harder as she speaks faster. This is what's happening in your brain as I'm speaking. It proves that it's not impossible for you to understand fast speech. It just takes practice. You need to be relaxed. So I want you, instead of saying this, I want you to gradually expose yourself to faster speech through listening exercises and authentic material. So let me explain what I mean. I'm teaching you English right now, right? I'm helping you understand how to improve your English fluency. But there are other videos on YouTube. There are other videos in my course and other teachers' courses that are not specifically about learning English. They just involve two native English speakers having a conversation. Two native English speakers speaking quickly about a topic. Again, if you want to join our family, I have multiple videos like this in the speakenglishLikeAnative.com program, speakenglishLikeAnative.com. Multiple conversations going quickly. The more you expose yourself to the real English conversations, where native speakers, including me, are speaking quickly, the faster your listening skills will improve. So you'll never say, I don't understand fast speech. Instead, all of a sudden you'll realize, oh my goodness, I understand what they're saying. Because you're smart, boo. You are smart. You just got to believe it. Next, I hope you're understanding why it's so important for you to stop saying these things. I need you to stop saying, I can't learn English without a teacher. Now, this is probably a shocking one. Why? Because I'm your teacher and I'm helping you learn English. But today, in this lesson, I'm trying to give you some tips so that when I'm not with you, when you're not watching my videos, you'll still be able to move forward. I need you to stop saying, I can't learn English without a teacher. I had a student when I was in South Korea. His English, I'm not going to lie to you. I've mentioned him before in one of my lessons. His English was so good, I pulled him to the side and asked him what he did. He said, oh, Tiffani, I just went online and I studied English every day. He used videos on YouTube. He listened to podcasts. He watched movies in English. He immersed himself in English without a teacher. He didn't have a teacher in a classroom, but he was still able to improve. So this is what I need you to remember. I need you to remember that while a teacher, like me, your teacher, while we can provide guidance, I can give you the steps, I can give you the tools. There are many self-study resources available to support your learning. It's possible for you to speak English fluently without having a physical teacher in the room with you. I told you online, there are so many things. I have a daily vocabulary email that I send out. I have a program for my students. Now, yes, I'm the teacher, but they're doing the work. They're taking the resources and applying what I've taught them. We're not in a classroom environment. We're not physically speaking to each other all the time in person. No. And yet they're still improving because they're following a plan that I gave them. Self-study. Giving them the plan, it's up to you to study. You have to remember, even if you don't have a teacher physically with you, even if you can't afford the amazing tutors that are online, you can still learn how to speak English fluently. Make sense? Yes, you're getting it now. You're getting it. All right. I really, really, really need you to stop saying this. I can't learn English because I'm too busy. First, let me state this fact right here. I understand having a busy life. Maybe you're married, maybe you have kids, maybe you also work. Life can get really hectic and busy. I run a company. I run an online academy, over 2,000 students. It gets very busy. But let my friend call me and say, you want to play basketball. I am going to get things done so that I can go and play basketball. Let my friend call me and say, Tiff, do you want to go get some Indian food? Yes. Give me about an hour. Let me finish this work. When we put our minds to it, as human beings, when we put our minds to do something, we can get it done faster than we realize. When you really want something, you make time for it. If you're married, think about before you got married. Think about how you loved spending time with your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Think about the time you spent on the phone just talking for hours. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. You made time even though you were busy. The same is true when it comes to English. Stop saying, I can't learn English because I'm too busy. You can find time. So instead of saying this is what I want you to do. Find small pockets of time throughout the day for language learning activities, such as listening to podcasts or practicing vocabulary. I remember when I used to work at NASA, right? We got a 15-minute break in the morning and a 15-minute break in the afternoon, plus an hour lunch. But in the midst of the day, we would walk to get some tea, or those that drank coffee, or we'd walk to get something from the supply closet. 5-minute period. As you're walking. Ooh, I learned this new vocabulary word from Tiffany's video yesterday. What was the word again? Devout. Okay, it means ... You're practicing as you're walking. Or maybe as you're driving back home. Instead of listening to the news, why not turn on an English podcast? You can find time for things you enjoy. Start enjoying English, and I guarantee you'll find these small pockets of time to practice. So stop saying, I can't learn English because I'm too busy. Finally, this one right here, I want you to remember, my friend. Stop saying, I'll never be fluent in English. You already know. This is something you should never say as my student. Again, I'm your teacher here on YouTube, online, or if you're listening to the podcast, I'm your teacher. And I believe, I don't care where you are, I don't care how old you are, I don't care how long you've been studying English. If you follow the tips I give you each week, you will be able to speak English fluently. So what? You need to stop saying, I'll never be fluent in English. Remember, your brain is going to act on what you say. So instead of saying this, I need you to believe in your potential and keep working towards fluency, knowing that progress takes time and effort. That's the fact. You are going to achieve your goal. You just have to remember that there's a process. It's going to take time and effort, but stick with it. Be consistent and you will achieve your goals. Stop saying, I'll never be fluent in English. Remember, I believe in you. I just need you to believe in yourself. There's nothing, my friend, that you can't accomplish. There's nothing you can't achieve. Why? Because you're amazing. All you have to do is believe it yourself. Let's jump right in. The very first thing you must stop saying is, my English is bad. And you're probably smiling or shaking your head because you've said this before. Oh, I'm sorry, my English is bad. Why do you need to stop saying this year? Here's the reason why you must stop saying this. When you say my English is bad, this phrase undermines your confidence and also discourages conversation. What do you mean, Teacher Tiffani? Let me explain it more. The moment you say my English is bad, your brain says, okay, well, we're not going to work hard. We're not going to work hard. If you already believe that your English is bad, why is your brain going to work overtime to help you find the words or expressions in your brain's database? It actually decreases your confidence in yourself. When you say, my English is bad, you're not believing in yourself. Remember, I tell you all the time, I believe in you, but you have to believe in yourself. The second thing is it also discourages conversation. If you start off the conversation by saying, my English is bad, well, the person listening will say, okay, well, we're not going to have a good conversation because you don't have the ability to express yourself in this language. So a part of their listening suddenly turns off. Oh, well, this person can't speak English, so I'll just kind of listen, kind of, and then I'll keep walking. Don't say my English is bad. Listen, I'm trying to help you improve your English this year. I want you to be able to speak English fluently, but you must stop saying my English is bad. So what's the alternative? What should you say? This is what I want you to say. I'm still learning English, so please bear with me.
I love this one. Hey, I'm still learning English, so please just bear with me. In other words, hey, I'm still on my journey. I'm still on my journey to speak English fluently. Would you mind just being patient with me? I guarantee the response is going to be much different from, oh, my English is bad. Okay, well, turn off my ears. I'm on my English journey. Would you be patient? Sure, I'm going to open my ears even more. Pay attention even more. My friend, stop saying my English is bad and instead say, I'm still learning English. Please bear with me. You got it? Yeah, listen, write this down. This is going to help you this year. Let's move on to the second thing I need you to stop saying this year. The second thing is this. It's too difficult. It's too difficult. Stop saying this. When you say it's too difficult, once again, you're telling your brain, turn off. I don't need you. I don't need your effort because this is too hard. It's too difficult. English, I can't do it. Why do I want you to stop saying this? Here's the main reason. When you say this, it can discourage others and limit personal growth. Listen closely. It can discourage others and also limit your personal growth. What do you mean? What I'm saying is, as human beings, we affect each other. So the moment you say it's too difficult, the person listening to you, another English learner, maybe you were their goal. You were like, hey, they were like, man, if she can do it, if he can do it, I know I can do it. The moment you say it's too difficult, all of a sudden, well, if it's too difficult for them, I know I can't do it. You can not intentionally, inadvertently start discouraging someone else. And also it will limit your own growth. Similar to the first thing I told you not to say. When you say this, it's too difficult. Again, your brain says, well, we're not going to grow in this area because you believe it's too hard. Stop believing that. Stop saying that. What should you say instead? Instead of it's too difficult, I want you to say this. I find it challenging. That's a fact. But I'm willing to figure it out. Ooh, I get so excited when these are the words that replace the old words. Listen, I find it challenging. I'm admitting this is not the easiest. It is challenging, but I am willing to figure it out. Listen, my goal is to help you this year speak English fluently. Do you believe in yourself? Are you willing to figure it out? Listen, I feel good. I hope you feel good. So again, instead of saying it's too difficult, I want you to say, I do find it challenging, but I'm willing to figure it out. You know what? Say it with me. I find it challenging, but I'm willing to figure it out. Yes. Let's move on. Number 3. What's the third thing I need you to stop saying this year? I'll try. Once again, I'll try. You're probably thinking to yourself, wait, Tiff, why is I'll try something that I shouldn't say? Here's the reason. The phrase leaves room for doubt and uncertainty. Doubt and uncertainty. I'm realizing that this is an English lesson, but also a motivational lesson. So I'm hoping you're feeling motivated. When you say, I'll try, even watch my body language. If you're watching this lesson on YouTube, watch my body language. I'll try. I don't really believe I can do it per se, but I'll give it a try. There's this measure of doubt, this measure of uncertainty, like, I don't really 100% believe that I can do it, but I'll try. So what do I want you to say instead of I'll try? This is what I want you to say. I will do my best. Such a different phrase. I'll try. Not sure if it's going to happen, but I'll try. Versus, I will do my best. I'll give it my all. I'll give 110%. Listen, as your English teacher, and I'm sure, or I hope you guys can feel this. I hope you realize how passionate I am about helping you achieve your goal this year. I'm not trying, I'm doing my best. I'm giving 110%. Why? Because I believe in you. I am giving my best. I'm not just, I'm trying. I'm trying to record a video. No, when I get in front of this camera, when I get on this microphone, I am here for you, giving my all. My friend, I need you to do the same thing. When it comes to your English, don't try. Give your best. Don't slack off. Don't be lazy. You have control of your English journey. Listen, man, I believe in you so much. You have the power to take yourself to the next level. Why? You have a teacher who cares about you. I care about you. We've never met in person probably, but I care about you. And now I just need you to believe in yourself. Do your best. Give your best, and I guarantee you will see results. So stop saying I'll try and instead say I'll do my best. You got it? Ooh, I felt that one. Here we go. Number 4, I need you to stop saying this. Stop saying it's impossible. Stop saying it's impossible. It's not. Again, I'm your English teacher. English is my first language. Yes, I understand that, but I have watched too many students do what you might think is impossible. It doesn't matter your age. I don't care if you're 75 years old. It's not impossible. I don't care if you've been studying English for 25 years. It's not impossible. Here's the reason I need you to stop saying this. This phrase can indicate a closed mindset and lack of creativity. A closed mindset. Nope. Hey, I'm done. It's impossible. It's impossible for me to speak English fluently. Why am I trying? That's a closed mindset. And it also shows a lack of creativity. You see, here's the truth of the matter. As human beings, we all learn differently. We each have a different learning style. Some people are visual. Some people need to hear things, auditory, right? Some people simply need a book and they can read it and boom, they get it. But just because what you've been doing now has not worked, it doesn't mean it's impossible. You just need to get creative and find another way of studying. My goal as an English teacher is to hopefully provide you with various methods, different ways of studying English that are more enjoyable, that are creative, to help you move forward along your journey to speaking English fluently. So stop saying it's impossible. Instead, here's the alternative. It seems challenging. You want to acknowledge, yes, it's a fact. It seems challenging, but let me look for possible solutions. Listen, I've been studying English for 15 years. I'm not going to lie to you. It's challenging, but I'm willing to look for possible solutions. There has to be another way to do what I'm doing. People are speaking English fluently. There's a way to get moving, to move forward on my journey. I'm willing to look for possible solutions. Ooh, man, I can't wait for the day when I can meet you in person and see all of the changes, all of the improvements, witness in person your English speaking ability. When you stop saying it's impossible and start saying, hey, it's challenging, yes, but I'm looking and willing to look for possible solutions. What? That's called confidence, baby. You can have confidence as a beginner, as an intermediate, and as an advanced English learner. Listen, believe in yourself. Wherever you are on your journey, it's challenging, but I'm willing to look for some possible solutions. You better say it. Be confident in yourself. Here we go. Number 5, the fifth thing I need you to stop saying. I don't need help. I'm good. I'm good. I can do it on my own. I don't need help. Let me say this. Wasn't even planned. Not in my notes at all. When you say I don't need help, you are limiting yourself in so many different ways. I'm your English teacher, and I'm going to be very transparent right now. I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm building this community, right? We have this YouTube community. I have my academy with my family. Students are called my family. Again, you can join the academy if you'd like. Links in the description. But the purpose of what I'm saying right now is, in the community, right? Family members. Among the family members, the students that I teach, there's a select group, student leaders, and you guys know who you are. I have student leaders, and they help manage our family. I am one person. I have a huge goal to help 1 billion English learners. I cannot do it alone. I need help. So the student leaders step up and say, Tiff, we got you. We're with you. We're with you on this mission to help 1 billion English learners. And the way my heart is warmed when I see my student leaders helping other students, and I'm like, man, you guys care. They're like, Tiff, we have a mission. We're trying to help 1 billion English learners. I needed help. And I still need their help today. I can't do it alone. So if me, as your English teacher, if I can't do it alone, I need you to stop saying that you don't need help. We're human beings. Together we work better. Here's the main reason. When you say I don't need help as an English learner, this phrase can prevent others from offering assistance or support. Other people around you have the desire to see you succeed. I want you to succeed, and I haven't even met you in person, but I'm in your corner. Whoop, whoop. I want you to succeed. Imagine those around you that know you personally, that have watched you over years. They want to help you. They want to be your support. When you say, I'm good, I don't need any help, I got this, you limit them from being able to help you. Instead of saying, I don't need help, I want you to say, thank you. I appreciate your offer. I could use some help with this. I appreciate your offer. I appreciate your desire to help me. I could use some help with this. Just like your English. Tiffani, I appreciate your help. And I've seen it in the comments, and I do read the comments, and I appreciate each and every one of you when you say, Tiff, thank you for this lesson. You've changed my life. This lesson has helped me. I speak English more fluently. You know what happens when I read those messages? Ooh-wee! They make me want to record more lessons. You are helping me give back to you even more. Let people help you. We become better individuals when we allow those around us to support us and help us. On your English journey, let people help you. You got me? All right, here we go. Number 6, the 6th thing I need you to stop saying. I'm not good at English. I'm just not good. My English is not good. Similar to the first thing, I'm bad. I'm not good at English. Stop saying this. Stop saying that you're not good at English. The very fact that you're saying it in English, isn't that ironic? I'm not good at English, but you're speaking English. You're speaking English. Stop saying I'm not good at English. Here's the reason. When you say I'm not good at English, this phrase in and of itself limits your own belief in your language learning abilities. Remember, I keep harping on this point. I keep emphasizing this point. I keep saying this over and over again. I, Tiffani, known to some as Teacher Tiffani, others as Tiffani, I believe in you, but you have to believe in yourself. Stop saying, I'm not good at English. Instead, here's the alternative. I want you to say this. I'm still developing my language skills, but I'm determined to improve. Man, if I have a student that says that to me, you're talking about the smile that'll come on my face. Why? Because this is a sign of confidence. Listen, I'm still developing, I'm in the process. I'm on my journey. And I'm determined. I have made a decision to improve. You have to make a decision. This year is your year. You have to tell yourself, listen, yes, I'm on this journey, but I am determined to improve. Stop saying I'm not good. Remind yourself that you're on a journey and be patient with yourself. You ready? Let's move on. Here we go. Number seven. Stop saying, I'll do it later. I'm okay. I'll do it later. Stop procrastinating. That's what this is called. I'll do it later. Here's the reason why this phrase, I need you to stop saying it. This phrase can lead to, what did I just say? Procrastination and unfinished tasks. Listen, I enjoy these YouTube videos with Tiffani. One day I'd like to study with her. I'll do it later. Now, I'm not telling you have to study with me in my academy. I'm not saying that. There are many other great English teachers, and you might be studying with them right now. That is totally okay. What I'm saying, though, is you know where you are on your English journey. You know what you need to do to get to the next level. You know, my friend. You know, you're smart. Stop saying, I'll do it later. Maybe it's a book you know you need. Maybe it's a course you need to enroll in. Maybe it is my academy you want to enroll in. Maybe it's a teacher that you want to study with in your native country. Whatever it is, stop saying I'll do it later. Instead, I want you to say this. I'll start on it now. Or I'll set a specific time to do it. Stop saying I'll do it later and either do it now or set a specific time. For my students in my academy in the daily English lessons program, I have 365 daily English lessons. In 1 year, moving them to the advanced English level. Every day they follow a specific lesson that I've set up for them. Why did I set the program up like that? Because every day they know what they have to do. Stop saying I'll do it later and do it now. We're talking about you, my friend, achieving your English goals this year. I believe in you, but I need you to believe in yourself. Let's jump right in. Phrase number 1. You must stop saying this English phrase. The phrase is, I'm never going to learn English. I get it. I understand that as you're on this English journey, you are going to have hard days. And I know that English is a challenging language to learn. I've seen thousands of students go through this very situation where they say this to themselves, I'm never going to learn English. I'm just not good enough. I keep trying, but I'm not improving. I'm just never going to learn English. You have to stop saying this to yourself. Why am I telling you to stop saying this? Stop saying this because it's not true. With time and dedication, anyone, listen closely, I am so passionate about this. Anyone can learn English and improve their language skills. I have a gentleman that just joined my academy. He's a part of our family in the Speak English with Tiffani Academy. He is 75 years old. I have another student who's 65 years old. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter what your current situation is. You can learn English. So, my friend, the first thing I need you to stop saying is, I'm never going to learn English. Don't say this ever again. Number 2, the second thing I need you to stop saying, to never say, is, my English is so terrible. I've heard students say this over and over again, and I've watched how detrimental it is to them. I've watched the words literally come out of their mouth and their confidence go down with it. Literally, having a conversation and they'll say, my English is so terrible. Their shoulders start to drop. Their head starts to go low. They start to look insecure. My English is so terrible. Stop saying this. Why? Stop saying this because negative talk can lower your confidence and make it harder to improve. I want you to understand why I'm so passionate. Why I'm so passionate about this specific lesson, where I'm teaching you the 9 phrases you must stop saying. Because I have literally watched students come to me, join my academy, join my programs, and they were telling themselves, I'm not good at English. My English is terrible. I'm never going to learn English. Shoulders down, head down, lacking confidence. Then 2 months later, speaking with confidence, shoulders back, head up, and telling new students, hey, never say your English is terrible. Hey, never say you can't do it. Believe in yourself. The same student that I was encouraging, now encouraging another student. Listen, when you stop saying this phrase, your confidence will go up and your English will improve. You are smarter than you realize. I'm talking to you. Yes, the individual, right? Yes, right here with me. You are smarter than you realize. So the moment you stop saying to yourself, my English is bad, my English is terrible, my English is it's just not good. The moment you stop saying that is the moment your English will start improving. Because you're telling yourself, wait a minute. I can do better. My English is not bad. Stop telling yourself, stop saying to yourself that your English is terrible. Number 3, the third thing I need you to stop saying right now is, I'll never be able to understand native speakers. I've heard this thousands of times. I'll never be able to understand native speakers. Now, this comes from watching television, watching movies, listening to podcasts, and missing a few words, missing an expression, missing a colloquialism, a slang term, missing the pacing. Let me ask you this question right now. Do you know where I'm from? It's okay, you can answer. Do you know where I'm from? That's right, I'm from America. Do you know what my mother tongue, my first language is? You got it, English. That makes me what? A native speaker. And you are understanding me. Come on, I need you to realize what I'm realizing about you. I see your potential. I know that you can achieve your English goals. You have to believe it. So you have to stop saying to yourself, I'll never be able to understand native speakers. Teacher Tiffani, I am a native speaker and you understand me. So immediately, this statement needs to go out the window. You can understand native speakers. There might be a time when a native speaker says something that you don't catch. There are some things that native speakers say that I'm like, what? And I'm a native speaker. Why? Because we have different accents, different parts of America people sound different. From the South to the North to the West, and it's totally okay. We're human beings. Stop saying to yourself, I'll never be able to understand native speakers. Here's the thing. Stop saying this because with practice and exposure to English speakers, you can improve your comprehension skills. I've been told multiple times in the comment section under my YouTube videos, Tiff, I've been watching your English lessons for months. When I first started watching your lessons, I missed a few things. I could understand the majority of what you were saying, but I didn't understand everything. However, now I understand everything that you say. Why? I didn't change. Teacher Tiffani didn't change. You changed. You started believing that you'd be able to understand what I was saying. You started enjoying the lessons. You started relaxing. You started to encourage yourself and experience this positive English lesson. Hopefully it's positive for you, right? Yeah, we'll smile. Hey. So it's all about how you're thinking. So stop saying, I'll never be able to understand native speakers. Again, I am passionate when it comes to this topic of negative speaking or discouragement. I'm really passionate about this. And the reason is because many times, and I'll pause real quick, we're going to get to number 4, don't worry. Many times what happens with English learners, you probably included, the hiccup, the barrier, the stop in your journey that you're experiencing has nothing to do with your intelligence. Has nothing to do with the difficulty of English. It has all to do with the way that you're viewing yourself. Listen to me. You're beating yourself up because you're not learning as fast as John or Samantha over there. You're frustrated because you don't think you speak like a native speaker just yet. You don't sound the way you'd like to sound. You make mistakes and you get upset with yourself. It's all about how you're feeling about yourself. And this is one of my main goals, if I can help you feel confident, if I can help you overcome the negative thoughts, overcome the negative feelings, then I have done my job. You are intelligent. You already speak another language, your mother tongue, and you're listening to a woman speak in another language and you're understanding. Believe that you are intelligent. Believe that you are amazing. If I can help you, if I can help anybody find more confidence, be more confident in themselves, I have done my job. I have done my job and I'll be full of overwhelming joy. My goal is to help you be more confident in yourself. Yes, I'm teaching you English, but I've realized my purpose is so much bigger than words on a page. My purpose is to help you believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, and I'll give you tools along the way, teaching you English words, expressions, some tips and tricks, 5 W's. But if I can help you be confident in yourself, listen. You'll transfer that to your children. You'll transfer that to your friends. We affect each other. I want you to believe in yourself. This wasn't even in my notes. This wasn't a part of the lesson. It's just something that I'm so passionate about. I want you to believe in yourself. And in believing in yourself, there are things you have to stop saying. Number 4. Stop saying, I'll always make grammar mistakes. Listen closely. No matter who you are, yes, mistakes will be made. But this statement right here, when you say it to yourself, it has a negative effect. Listen very closely. I want you to stop saying this because everyone makes grammar mistakes, even native speakers. Practice and improving your grammar takes time. So this is very different from saying, hey, I'm always going to make grammar mistakes. It's okay. Let me just keep working. That's a positive statement. What I'm speaking about is this statement. I'm always going to make grammar mistakes. I mean, I try my hardest and I just always make grammar mistakes. That feels different, doesn't it? That's what I'm talking about. The negative self-talk. I've tried hard and I'm always going to make grammar mistakes. Stop saying that. Stop saying that. Number 5. And I want you to be writing these things down so that you'll stop saying them. Number 5. Why can't I speak English fluently like everyone else? Let me say this. You are not everyone else. You are unique. God made you special. You are one of a kind. With that in mind, you cannot compare yourself to anyone else. For example, I'm an English teacher. I teach English online. There are tons and tons of other English teachers online. Absolutely amazing English teachers. I'm not like them and they're not like me. We are individually amazing. I'm including all of us, right? Amazing English teachers. We each have our own unique skills. We can help students in our own unique ways. So I'm not comparing myself to any other English teacher. Why? They're awesome. They're amazing. And I think I am too. Why? Because each and every person living on this earth is awesome, is amazing. We just have to realize it. So my friend, my awesome, amazing friend, I need you to realize it does not matter what anyone else around you is doing. It doesn't matter what any other English learner is doing. Stop asking this question. Why can't I speak English fluently like them? Focus on your journey. Why? Everyone learns and improves at their own pace. Don't compare yourself to others. You're not like anyone else. You are uniquely you. You are special. Be patient with yourself and learn at your own pace. You got me? Good. The sixth saying that I want you to stop saying is, I'll never be able to pronounce English words correctly. Don't say that. Don't say that ever again. I've had so many students who have improved their pronunciation with practice, right? They dug deep, like we talked about in our last lesson, and they improved their pronunciation. Don't think it's impossible. It is possible. Here's the thing. This is important. Stop saying this because with practice and specific exercises, you can improve your pronunciation. There are many English teachers right now on YouTube that will teach you how to improve your pronunciation. One of the teachers I used to recommend my students to all the time, and even now, she's an amazing teacher. Rachel's English. What? Come on now. Excellent. You want to improve your pronunciation. You can improve your pronunciation. I have an app, English with Tiffani app. On the app, literally, there are tons of lessons to help you improve your pronunciation. It's not impossible. You just have to find the right tips and techniques that work for you. Maybe Rachel's lessons will help you. Maybe my lessons will help you. Maybe another English teacher's lessons will help you. It's not impossible. And you have to remember that as you're on this English journey. Tip number 7, the thing I need you to stop saying. Number 7, English is too difficult for me. You're lying. Listen, that's a lie. That's a lie. Hi. That's a lie. You are more intelligent than you realize. You understand what I'm saying right now. You're understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth. Proof that you're intelligent. Do you need extra time? Possibly. It's your journey. But English is not too difficult for you. Listen to me very closely. Stop saying this. Because every language can be challenging to learn. Korean was not easy. It was a very difficult language to learn, but it wasn't impossible. But with time and practice, you can improve. But you have to believe that. Again, stop saying English is too difficult for me. Number 8. The next phrase I need you to stop saying is, I can't understand English movies or TV shows. Stop saying that. Stop saying, I can't understand. I can't understand what they're saying or what's going on. Why do I want you to stop saying this? With consistent practice, you can improve your listening skills and increase your comprehension of English media. Listen, when I first started studying Korean, I was level 1. I was learning the basics, but every day in the background, I would play Korean dramas, Korean news programs, Korean cooking shows. I didn't know what they were talking about. I was a beginner. 99% of the show, I was like, don't know that word, don't know that word. But I continued to listen. And over time, I started understanding more. Why? Because with practice, your listening skills and comprehension of the media will improve. It's not impossible. And number 9, the phrase I need you to stop saying to yourself. I'm too old to learn English now. At the beginning of this lesson, I told you about 2 of my students. One is 75, one is 65. Now, there are a ton of other students that are older. But I mention these two individuals because they're proof it does not matter how old you are. Your brain's still working. You can still speak, can't you? Then you're never too learn to learn. Ha! You're never too old to learn. Check this out. Stop saying this because age is not a barrier to learning a new language. Like, you 85 now, you done. No, age is not a barrier to learning a new language. Many people learn languages later in life and find great success in doing so. You're never too old to learn. Stop saying this. Let's jump right in. The very first thing that you must stop saying now is, I'll never speak English perfectly. I'll never be able to speak English like a native speaker. I'll never be able to speak English well. Stop saying this. Now, I'm your English teacher, and I believe in you. But this phrase right here is hurting you. So I need you to stop saying it. Here is the reason why it's so detrimental. This mindset sets an unrealistic expectation of perfection and undermines the progress and efforts you've made. When you say to yourself, I'm never going to be perfect, your mind basically goes into this state. Well, if we're not going to be perfect, why are we trying? Everything we've done so far means nothing. You have to stop saying this. Stop focusing on, I'm not perfect. You have to remember all that you've done, all that you've accomplished, and how amazing you are. So instead of saying this, I want you to say this instead. Every day, I am improving my English speaking skills. Ooh, this makes me happy. Listen, I really focus on helping English learners like you feel confident and be more confident in themselves. So when I teach lessons like this, they make me excited. I get excited because I know how powerful they are and how much they will change your experience. So again, instead of saying I'll never speak English perfectly, I want you to start saying, every day I am improving my English speaking skills. Yes! And that's the truth. Every day you're improving. Every day you're getting better. This is what I want you to say moving forward. Can you do it? Yes, my friend. I love it. All right. The second thing I need you to stop saying is, I'm not as good as other learners. Johnny is really good. I'm not as good as him. Man, Samantha, her English is awesome, but I'm not as good as her. Stop saying I'm not as good as other learners. Why? This right here is demotivating. It takes your motivation away. It discourages you and it disregards your personal progress and the unique pace at which individuals learn. Johnny might learn at this pace. Samantha might learn at this pace. And your pace might be a bit slower, but you're on the same journey and you will achieve your goals. So don't say, I'm not as good as someone else. I'm not as good as other learners. Instead, this, my friend, is what I want you to say. My journey is unique. And I am making progress at my own pace. Listen, you don't understand all of these movements. If you're watching the video, these are genuine. I get excited when I see English learners, again, students that are in my program in the Speak English with Tiffani Academy, they see me in real time, right? But even for you, I get excited just realizing that you are going to be more confident after this lesson. You've got to believe in yourself. You have to realize, for the audio listeners, sorry if that clap was loud, but listen, you have to realize you are amazing. You are awesome. You're doing something that is challenging, learning another language. You've got to believe in yourself. So instead of saying, I'm not as good as other learners, starting right now, I want you to say this: my journey is unique, and I am making progress at my own pace. Come on and smile with me. Yes, you got it. All right, here we go. The third thing, my friend, that I need you to stop saying is, I can't remember new words. I can't do it. I can't remember new words. Don't say this ever again. Listen very closely. Don't say this ever again. I can't do it. I can't remember new words. Listen, why is this so bad? This creates a mental block that can prevent effective memory strategies from being developed or applied. You can remember. You are intelligent enough. You are smart enough to remember new words. Your brain just might use different methods or different strategies to remember things when you think about the way other people learn. You have to stop saying, I can't remember new words. Here's what I want you to say instead. Man, I love it. I am developing new strategies to improve my vocabulary every day. Ooh! And I want you to say it with confidence. I want your shoulders to be back. I want you to have a look on your face that lets the person know who you're talking to that, oh, this is a confident English learner. Once again, I am developing new strategies to improve my vocabulary every day. You see the difference? You see the difference, right? It sounds different from, I can't remember new words. Even those watching, my shoulders dropped when I said I can't remember new words. The body language even changes, but the moment you realize, hold up, I can do this, and you change the words you use. I am developing new strategies to improve my vocabulary every day. Oh yeah, baby, here we go. All right, number 4, the fourth thing I need you to stop saying now. I'm too old to learn English. Again, I'm too old to learn English. I want you to stay till the end, because at the end during story time, I'm going to tell you a story about being old and learning another language. This is a story that happened to me, something that happened to me. All right. So, but I'm too old to learn English. Stop saying that. Stop saying that. In my program, I have individuals who are in their 70s out here speaking English with confidence. Why? They stopped saying this. I'm too old to learn English. Why is this bad? It perpetuates the false, the untrue belief that language learning is age dependent. It's not. Learning a language is not based on your age. The process, the method, the strategies are based on your age, but you have the ability to learn a new language at any age. It will just look different from someone else. You are never too old to learn English. So instead of this, I want you to say, learning knows no age, and I am fully capable of acquiring new skills. Come on now, one more time. Learning knows no age, and I am fully, not partially, I am fully capable of learning and acquiring new skills. Listen, you about to leave this lesson amazing. Here we go. All right. Number 5, the fifth thing I want you to stop saying. I have a terrible accent. One more time. I have a terrible accent. Stop saying that. I'm going to tell you why, but I want to add this to the lesson. I live in America. I live on the East Coast, not too far from Washington, D.C. On the East Coast, we have a certain sound. But when I go to California, or when I go to Louisiana, or when I go to Alabama, or when I go to North Dakota, everyone sounds different. We have different accents. And I know when you watch television or you watch the news or you watch movies, there seems to be this common accent, common American accent, but even in America, there are varying accents. So I need you to stop saying this. Stop saying I have a terrible accent. Why? This can lead to unnecessary self-consciousness and hinder spoken practice. Let me break this down. If you're constantly telling yourself, I have a terrible accent, you'll be less likely to speak. I can't say that. Why? Because my accent's not that good and they're not going to understand me. And all of a sudden, this self-talk, the words you say to yourself in your mind starts getting louder. Ooh, don't say anything. They're not going to understand you. Your accent's not good. Stop saying that your accent is terrible. Instead, I want you to say this. My accent is unique and it will improve with practice. Again, my accent is unique and it will improve with practice. It's okay to have a desire to sound like a certain American. Many students tell me, Tiff, I want to speak like you. Hey, by all means, come on. Mimic me, copy me, start sounding like me. That's totally okay. But as you're on the journey to sounding like me, as you're going through the process, don't discourage yourself. Don't tell yourself you're terrible. Instead, say, my accent is unique and it will improve with practice. I'll start sounding like Tiff eventually. My accent right now, though, is unique. You gotta remind yourself that you're on a journey and encourage yourself. Don't put yourself down. Here we go. Number 6, the sixth thing I need you to stop saying. That was like a tongue twister. Sixth thing. TH, tongue through your teeth, guys. Here we go. I'll never understand native speakers. Stop saying this. I'll never understand native speakers. Newsflash, I'm a native speaker and you understand me. It's funny, sometimes in the comment section, and I guess it's a compliment, in the comment section, I'll have some people say, wow, where are you from? Your English is amazing. And I always smile. I'm like, thanks. I'm American. It's cute because sometimes students assume that I'm not American, that maybe I learned English and I'm just teaching it to you all. So I appreciate the compliment. But yes, I am actually American. English is my first language. I speak Korean, but English is my first language. So this is the thing. I'll never understand native speakers. Doesn't apply to you. Why? I'm a native speaker and you understand me. Now don't say, Tiff, but it's different. You speak clearly. I can understand you. No. We're trying to help you stop saying these negative things to yourself. Stop saying, I'll never understand native speakers. Tiffani, I am a native speaker and you understand me. Here's why this is so detrimental. It assumes a permanent state of confusion and impedes or inhibits or stops your listening practice. When you say, I'll never understand native speakers, your brain says, all right, well, we don't have to put any more effort in. He or she's not going to understand them. So why are we working hard to help them understand? It's not a permanent state. Instead, this is what I want you to say. I will gradually understand more as I continue practicing listening. I'm going to continue to improve. Right now, I might only understand 50%, but tomorrow I'll understand 51%. And next week, I'll understand 57%. Again, I will gradually understand more as I continue practicing listening. You got it? Yes, my friend, let's keep going. All right, here we go. Number 7, the 7th thing I want you to stop saying to yourself. I'm afraid to speak and make mistakes. I'm afraid to speak and make mistakes. Now listen, if this is your first video, welcome again. I'm Teacher Tiffani, hey. But if you've been here for a while, you've seen many of my videos. And there are points in videos where I might have said a word and said it too fast. Just again, earlier I said, ooh, that was a tongue twister, the TH sound. I leave those things in my videos on purpose. Why? I'm a native English speaker, I'm an English teacher, and even being an American, there are moments when a word might not come out properly. There are moments when the pronunciation might be a bit tricky. It happens to everyone, not just Americans. Even in your own language, there are moments when you have to pause like, wait a minute, how do I say that again? Or wait a minute, that didn't come out right. We're human beings. So I purposely leave those moments in. First, to show you I'm a human being and I enjoy what I do. And I'm just in the moment enjoying teaching you English, right? I want you to enjoy the lesson as well. But also to remind you, it's okay to make mistakes. So here's the reason. When you say I'm afraid to speak and make mistakes, it prevents the valuable learning experience that comes from making mistakes. Listen, mistakes will help you. They're not going to hurt you. They show you what you need to work on. So instead of saying I'm afraid to speak and make mistakes, this is what I want you to say. Here's the alternative. Speaking and making mistakes is a crucial or important part of my learning process. Fact. Once again, speaking and making mistakes is a crucial part of my learning process. The end. Start saying this and realizing mistakes are a part of the process. Number 8. The 8th thing I need you to stop saying. I can't pronounce words correctly. I can't pronounce words correctly. Stop saying this. I can't pronounce words correctly. Listen, when you say I can't pronounce words correctly, it may cause avoidance. It may cause avoidance in speaking out the fear and making errors. It may cause avoidance in speaking out of fear of errors. You'll avoid speaking because you don't want to make any errors. Instead of saying this, this is what I want you to say. With practice, my pronunciation will get better. Again, with practice, my pronunciation will get better. Here's the fact. You are going to improve each and every day. So don't stop. Number 9. I can't express myself the way I want to in English. I can't express myself the way I want to in English. Stop saying this. Why? Here's the reason. When you do this, when you say this over and over, it may discourage you from practicing speaking and expressing yourself in different ways. I can't express myself the way I want to. Saying that over and over again will stop you from even expressing yourself in general. So instead, I want you to say this. I'm learning new ways to express myself in English every day. Once again, I'm learning new ways to express myself in English every day. Focus on saying this instead of saying that you can't express yourself the way you want to in English. Let's jump right in. Phrase number 1, in my experience. One more time after me. In my experience. Excellent. Now, why is this phrase better than I think? This phrase shows you're speaking from personal knowledge rather than just thinking. From personal knowledge rather than just thinking. Check out these examples. So let's say, for example, you started with this sentence. I think working from home is more productive. Now that sentence in and of itself is good, but watch what happens when we replace I think with phrase number 1, in my experience. Once again, I think working from home is more productive. Here's the phrase added now. In my experience, working from home is more productive. A slight change with a big effect, right? Check out this second example sentence. I think learning English online is effective. I think learning English online is effective. Now let's change it using phrase number 1. In my experience, learning English online is effective. You feel it, right? You're noticing the subtle nuance when we change I think into in my experience. And what about this one?
I think morning exercise gives more energy. Changing it now with the phrase, in my experience, we have, in my experience, morning exercise gives more energy. You see the power of phrase number one, in my experience. Yes, you got it, you got it. All right, let's move on now to phrase number two. Phrase number two is, from what I've observed. Good, yes. One more time after me. From what I've observed. Excellent. Now, why is this phrase better? This is better because it indicates you've already actually witnessed or noticed something, making your opinion more credible, more believable. You're giving more support to your opinion. So let's check out these examples. Again, phrase number two being, from what I've observed. Example number one, here's the original sentence. I think students learn better in small groups. Let's change this now, adding our phrase. From what I've observed, students learn better in small groups. A subtle change, but a big effect. Here's the second example sentence. I think remote teams need more communication. I think remote teams need more communication. Now let's add phrase number two. From what I've observed, remote teams need more communication. It just sounds better, has a bigger impact when you use this phrase. And example number three, I think regular breaks improve productivity. I think regular breaks improve productivity. Let's add the phrase number two. From what I've observed, regular breaks improve productivity. You see the difference, right? Excellent. Phrase number two, from what I've observed. Now we have phrase number three. Phrase number three is, it seems that. Good. Again after me. It seems that. Excellent. Now, why is this phrase so good? Why is it a good option instead of using I think? So it seems that sounds more objective and analytical while still expressing your viewpoint. Again, it sounds more objective and analytical while still expressing your viewpoint. So now what I want us to do is look at some example sentences using this actual phrase. Here we go. Here's example number one. Example number one, I think the market is improving. Good one. Again, I think the market is improving. Now using phrase number three, it seems that the market is improving. It seems that the market is improving. Example two, I think people prefer flexible hours. Again, I think people prefer flexible hours. Here's the phrase now. It seems that people prefer flexible hours. Finally, example number three. I think the new system is working well. Again, I think the new system is working well. Now with the phrase, it seems that the new system is working well. You see it, right? Phrase number three, it seems that. Moving on now to phrase number four. Again, alternatives. Other options, instead of using I think, you can use phrase number four, I've found that. Again, I've found that. Why is this better? This is better because it implies that you've discovered something through actual experience or research. Again, saying I've found that implies that you've done some research, implies that you've had some experience. Again, phrase number four, I've found that. Here's the first example. Imagine you've said, I think daily practice is essential. Again, I think daily practice is essential. Now, with phrase number 4, I've found that daily practice is essential. I've done some research. I have some data. I've found that daily practice is essential. Example number 2, I think meditation helps with stress. Again, this person's opinion. I think meditation helps with stress. I found that. I've found that meditation helps with stress. What about example number 3? I think early planning prevents mistakes. Again, I think early planning prevents mistakes. Here's the expression, here's the phrase. I've found that early planning prevents mistakes. You're getting it, aren't you? I love it. Again, phrase number 4, I've found that. Excellent. Phrase number 5, I'm convinced that. Good, after me. I'm convinced that. Excellent. I'm convinced that. Why is this better? This shows stronger conviction and confidence in your opinion. I'm convinced that. I believe that this is what I am holding to be true. I'm convinced that. So here's the first example using I think. I think education is the key to success. Again, I think education is the key to success. Let's add our phrase number 5. I'm convinced that education is the key to success. You see how it kind of changed? We have more emphasis. It's a stronger phrase. What about the second example? I think teamwork leads to better results. Again, I think teamwork leads to better results. Let's change it now using phrase number 5. I'm convinced that teamwork leads to better results. What about example number 3? I think practice makes perfect. Again, I think practice makes perfect. Again, we're just sharing various opinions. How about this now with the phrase added? I'm convinced that practice makes perfect. Now, you've heard me as your teacher say, practice makes progress, right? I'm convinced as your teacher, Teacher Tiffani, I'm convinced that practice makes progress. This individual is saying, I'm convinced practice makes perfect. You got it? Excellent. Again, phrase number 5, I'm convinced that. What about phrase number 6? Based on my research. Good. Again, based on my research. Excellent. All right. Based on my research, why is this better? This demonstrates that your opinion is grounded in actual investigation. Again, this demonstrates that your opinion, it's not just based on your own thoughts, it's actually based on investigation. You've done an investigation. There is support. Check out these examples. Here we go. Example number 1. I think renewable energy is the future. Again, I think renewable energy is the future. Here is the phrase added. Based on my research, renewable energy is the future. You see it, right? Next, example number 2. I think artificial intelligence will transform healthcare. Again, I think artificial intelligence will transform healthcare. Now we're going to add phrase number 6. Based on my research, artificial intelligence will transform healthcare. You see it, right? Much more powerful. And example number 3. I think sustainable practices save money. I think sustainable practices save money. Adding now the phrase, based on my research,
sustainable practices save money. Again, based on my research, sustainable practices save money. You got it? Yes. Again, phrase number 6, based on my research. I love it. Now, I want you to continue paying attention. I want you to select your favorite one. We're moving into number 7. I want you to think about your favorite one, all right? Phrase number 7. I want you to write your favorite. If you're watching the YouTube video, write it in the comment section. But here's phrase number 7. My perspective is. Again, my perspective is. Good. Last time after me. My perspective is. Excellent. All right. Why is this a better option? Instead of saying I think, why should you say my perspective is? This acknowledges it's your view while sounding more professional. My perspective is more professional than I think. So check out these example sentences. Here's the first one. I think we should change the approach. Again, I think we should change the approach. Let's add phrase number 7. My perspective is that we should change the approach. You're still saying I think, this is my opinion, but it's more professional and it actually is a bit stronger. My perspective is that we should change the approach. Example number 2. I think the solution is simple. Again, I think the solution is simple. Adding our phrase now, what would it be? My perspective is that the solution is simple. Again, my perspective is that the solution is simple. And what about example number 3? I think this method works best. Again, I think this method works best. You got it? Here it is now with phrase number 7. My perspective is that this method works best. Again, my perspective is that this method works best. You got it? Excellent. All right. Now let's move on to phrase number 8. Don't forget to select your favorite one. Phrase number 8. I've concluded that. Good. Again, after me. I've concluded that. Good. Now, why is this better? Why is this a good option? Actually, a better option than I think. It suggests that you've reached a final decision after consideration. This is not just a random thought. No, you've thought about it. You've processed it for a period of time and you've concluded that. Watch what happens. Here's example number 1. I think this is the best option. I think this is the best option. Now adding phrase number 8. I've concluded that this is the best option. I've spent time and after thinking about it for a while, I've concluded that this is the best option. Example number 2. I think we need to change direction. Again, I think we need to change direction. Adding phrase number 8, now we have, I've concluded that we need to change direction. Again, I've concluded that we need to change direction. And number 3, example number 3, I think the risk is worth taking. Again, I think the risk is worth taking. Adding our phrase, I've concluded that the risk is worth taking. Again, I've concluded that the risk is worth taking. You got it? Excellent. All right. Now phrase number 9, another good one. From my understanding. Good. Again, after me. From my understanding. Excellent. All right. Why is this a better option? Instead of saying I think. This is better because it shows you've processed the information while staying humble. You're not saying this is the only option. You're saying, hey, from my understanding,
From what I've studied, this is my conclusion. From my understanding, this is my opinion now. Makes sense, right? Check out these examples. Example number 1 now. I think the process is complicated. Again, I think the process is complicated. Now let's add our phrase. From my understanding, the process is complicated. From my understanding, the process is complicated. Example number 2. I think the solution requires teamwork. I think the solution requires teamwork. Now, with our phrase, from my understanding, the solution requires teamwork. Again, from my understanding, the solution requires teamwork. And now, example number 3. I think we need more time. Again, I think we need more time. With our phrase, from my understanding, we need more time. Again, from my understanding, we need more time. You got it right? Again, phrase number 9, from my understanding. These phrases are going to transform your English. Instead of saying I think, use one or more of these phrases. Today's lesson was brought to you by the Daily English Lessons membership. Now, if you start following this plan, there's a course that you can follow by going to speakenglishwithtiffani.com/365 plan. Again, speakenglishwithtiffani.com/365 plan. If you want to follow a plan and continue improving your English, go to the link in the description or go to speakenglishwithtiffani.com/365 plan. I'll talk to you in the next lesson.